Howdy there, folks. I'm Gene of RPG, and welcome back to more MS Saga: A New Dawn. Last time, we fought the Psycho Gundam, but we did manage to defeat it and save Lapis. It was a long fight, but it wasn't that hard with two characters using Double Shield. Double Shield's amazing. But we found out we need a spaceship in order to chase after Gabriel to the moon. And so we need to meet with the unicorn, the head of the unicorns. So, you might remember, or you may not, because it's been quite a while. It's been like 20 parts. You might remember, though, that when we originally came here, we could not go past this tree, really. Like, past this point. Because of that guy. Because we were not authorized personnel. Now that we are at this point in the game, and Olivia's gotten us clearance, we can go past that point. And that's great, because this is where the good stuff is. So, let's start by talking to this guy. This guy is your basic shop person. You can finally buy hacking tools, which we will do eventually. We're going to need a lot of money. But you can buy hacking tools, finally, for 5,000 a pop. But still, you can buy them. You can buy repair units, which are great. You can buy restorative drinks, which are also great. Regeneration kit DXs, which are also great. You can buy just a lot of really, really good stuff. Medical nanotech heals all fear, stunned, dazed, and hurt allies. Really good stuff. You can also purchase launcher arms, which I don't really recommend. They're not that good. But you can buy, and this is probably the more important things that you can purchase, you can buy drill claws. The drill claws are the rare item drops that we could have gotten and are much, much more powerful punching weapons than the enhanced Zegot Claw. But before you decide what all you want to buy, let's go ahead and take a look at the actual weapon shop because it's got some pretty good stuff. The first thing on the list is the large missile shield, and they're not kidding when they say large. It's ridiculous. Look at it. It's huge. It also takes 40 away from speed, and it only adds 48 to defense. It's not worth it. It's too big. It's not very strong. I don't recommend it. The best thing this shop has, though, is the Doggy Shield. The Doggy Shield is the third strongest shield in the game, and it adds a whopping 65 to defense while only taking 8 away from speed. And it is surprisingly compact. This is something that we're going to end up buying 6 of. But not just yet. We're not spending our money yet. You can buy large double beam guns, which we already have one, and I've already said we're past the point where it's useful, so I don't recommend purchasing it. The high output beam rifle is, well, a very powerful beam rifle. 2 energy cost, 195 attack power. It's really good. But it's also really awkwardly shaped, as you can tell from looking at it. I struggle to recommend this because of how awkward it is. And speaking of awkward, the double beam rifle. I can recommend this a little more because it's 3 energy and has a whopping 255 attack power. And since it is 3 energy, you can use it with shoot all. This is basically going to be our replacement to the large beam or the long beam rifle. And it is more compact and easier to make fit than the high output beam rifle, it's true, but it's still surprisingly, I say surprisingly a lot, it's deceptively awkward because of those 2 points, those 2 vertical points sticking up. But it is a very good beam rifle. We will be purchasing some. Grand cannons. I don't recommend this at all. It's a very strong, long-barreled, shoulder-mounted cannon that is pretty freaking huge. So big, in fact, that only the Double Zeta Gundam can equip it right now. 5 energy. I don't recommend it. I don't recommend it at all. The high-power machine gun is a very nice machine gun. 3 slots for 128 attack power, a non-beam-based weapon. We already have this small beam rifle, though, so this, even though this is good, it's a little too late for it to be useful. The Hyper Bazooka 2 is pretty darn good. 195 attack power. Although it's a little funny that it's here and not earlier because the Hyper Bazooka 2 is the Gundam Mark II's bazooka. So, I don't know, that's a little weird. But it's a very good weapon. 195 attack power, as I said, for 2 energy. That's pretty good. don't think we're going to purchase it, though. Beam machine gun is horribly outdated. I don't know why they're giving this to us here, because it's only 105 attack power for something this big. Yeah, no, it's worthless. It's too big. The high output beam saber is smaller than the large beam sword that we have on Tristan at the moment, but it's also notably weaker. It's still a little bit on the big side, in my opinion, and, well, the fact is, there's only a couple of characters who are going to reliably utilize a saber weapon, and we don't need it. It's only 20 points stronger than the Zeta Gundam Saber, so I'd rather stick with that. The Beam Tomahawk is very powerful, 255 attack power, and, yeah, it's awkward, like most axe weapons, but that doesn't really matter if we're talking about Tristan, because you're going to be using it on Tristan, let's be honest. That said, it's only slightly more powerful than the large beam sword, and we're going to get something better soon, so I don't recommend this either. The Heat Lance is gigantic. The only mobile suit we have that can equip it is the Shining Gundam. Yes, the Shining Gundam, which means that you're probably not going to use it. 230 attack power, it is still weaker than the Drill Lance, and it's bigger. So yeah, the really important thing to buy from this shop are the Doggy Shields. If you listen to what I was saying, like, just skipping all the bullshit. The Doggy Shields are what's important. They are the third strongest shield in the game. And what's more, the two shields that are better, you only get one of each. And they are only better by 5 and 10 defense. And you won't get them until the very end of the game. When I say the end, I mean the end of the game. So the Doggy Shields are great. They're going to get a lot of use. We're still not done. There is one more shop that has pretty important things in it, and actually what I want to see first. So to get to it, we got to go down by the docks, because I mean that's where the best stuff is, right? Right? Well, if you have the black ticket, which you have to have the black ticket by this point, we'll find a black market person. Although, before that, I do want to talk to Lee Fong because this cracks me up. Across the sea awaits enemies stronger than any we have ever met. Just thinking about it fills me with a strange excitement. What about you, Tristan? You know what I mean, don't you? Lee Fong says that, but across the ocean is where Eisengrad and everything is. All the enemies that are way weaker than us at this point. Also, Lapis, what are you doing down here? I've done things, terrible things. I've committed crimes against the whole world. The least I can do is fight by your side. Sure, whatever. But yeah, that cracks me up. Lee Fong's surprisingly funny. But this guy down here is, well, a black market salesman. From him, we can buy Bawu data if you want to actually purchase Bawu data. We can buy Zaku 3 data, which I do want to buy 81 Zaku 3 data. And Arjarja data, which we already have 50. We could have made an Arjarja a while ago. But I wanted to hold off until this point because we didn't really need it until now. And I want to buy 49 of it, so that way we have 99. You can also buy Dryson data if you really want to make a Dryson, but I don't recommend it. And I also don't recommend worrying about a Bawu, especially at this point. Because you can get 10 more Bawu data here, which will put you at 80, so you'd only need to buy 19 to have the enhanced upgrades. But it's 800 bucks a pop. Nah, it ain't worth it. Not in my opinion, at least. So, there's also areas to explore and get treasure from here, because, of course there is. We're getting to explore the whole entire base, so we may as well loot it, right? I'm a good guy. But I think it's over here. There's a box somewhere. No, I must be mistaken on that. I do know there is a door with a lockpick here. fact, I think it might actually be that one next to the lady with the dog. Yeah, right here. It's been a long time since we've had to use the lockpick, but there we go. In here is a hacking tool for free, which is nice. Granted, we can buy them now, but they're expensive, and so I'd rather not. And we're going to need a lot of them. Up here is Restorative Drink SP. Very nice. Not as nice as a lot of the other lockpick doors were at the time when we actually found them. But, hey, it's still pretty good. Free stuff. You can't complain. Which, speaking of free stuff... Actually, it might have been over here I'm thinking of. Ah, it is! The ECAP... There's an ECAP S back there. I knew there was something here. Anyway, speaking of free stuff, you come to this house and you want to talk to this woman, who is Constable Ox's wife. Who's Constable Ox, you might ask? Well, he's the guy in the sea camo way over in Angelia. And, yeah, her husband left a present for us. It's not a big present, don't get too excited, but I find that rather interesting. He left us 3,000 credits. Which, hey, I mean, 3,000 bucks, that's pretty nice. Thanks, lady. You're all right. That is not it for treasure, though, of course, because there's more. Of course there is. So, I think... Yes, it's here. That I want to head to the right. Oh, wait. No, this isn't right. Well, I mean, okay. It is right, but this isn't... This takes us to the Unicorn HQ building. And we're not going to go there just yet. That's going to be one of the last places we go in here. Because, well, that proceeds with, well, the game, and we have other stuff to do. The way we want to go is actually over here. That doesn't seem like an efficient way to block a door. But we want to come over here because there are buildings. Most of these buildings either have nothing or have one or two things in them. Hi, buddy. Just 5 more minutes. I was looking in your locker, not talking to you. Okay. But let's see. And here is a GPS system. Yay. And 2,000 credits. That's 5,000. Hey, a TV and a guitar. That's pretty spiffy. There's also undies. Really paper-looing clothes here. There is also treasure that you'd be surprised. Not very many people know that this is here. This is over here. I know it's over here. There it is. 10 more Bawu data. So, it's funny. I've looked at guides. Several guides, in fact. And this isn't listed. A lot of people don't know that that's there, apparently. Granted, maybe they stopped looking at this point because you can just buy the Bawu data. But there is 10 more Bawu data there. Alright, so, before we go ahead and talk to the Unicorn Director, I want to go to the G system. Because we have mobile suits to make. And so, folks, I'll see you guys in a little bit. Alright, but there we go. 2 Arjarjas. And with that, we're done making mobile suits for... Wow, that's a lie. I was going to say for a little while, but that's not true. Why would I tell you guys that? Anyway, we're going to return to Unicorn HQ because, well, we have more shopping we need to do. And then we need to get set up as far as mobile suits and whatnot go because it's kind of important. Anyway, I'll see you guys in a bit. Alright, so now that we've bought the data for the mobile suits and we've actually made them, now we can purchase the actual equipment. So I want one drill claw for the right arm and one for the left. Yeah, Li Fong is now one of the most expensive characters in our group. But that's okay, because those are going to last her for a very long time. And, well, she kind of needed it. Okay, the next thing that we need to do is actually sell excess stuff, which includes, unfortunately, some of our Rick Diaz's. And by some, I mean all of our Rick Diaz's. All of the mobile suits that we're not actually going to utilize, we're selling. There we go. That's fine. I'll worry about the rest later. We need 6 of the Doggy Shields, and I want 2 of the double beam rifles. And yeah, let's get 1 Hyper Bazooka just in case. Okay, but that should be good for equipment. So now, folks, I need to set up the mobile suits. And so I'll see you guys in a bit as soon as I'm done with that. And we'll go over all the changes, because there's going to be a lot of them. Alrighty, folks, I'm back. So let's go ahead and take a quick look at our setup, because, oh boy, like I said, a lot of things have changed because, well, we made 3 new mobile suits. Tristan's in the Arjarja, but the thing about the Arjarja is that it comes with shoulder shields, which are actually not very good, personally speaking. They do add a fair bit to the melee stat, but their defense they add is not that great, and you can't equip most arm guards or regular shields with them. So, I swapped out the Sandrock armor because the Sandrock armor had a ton to defense, but they do take away a lot to speed, so that'll change eventually. As for equipment, he's got basically the same stuff except for the rod-type beam rifle. He has no ranged weapon, but that doesn't matter. I don't even remember the last time I had him shoot. So, yep, that's Tristan. He's got a whopping 319 melee, 244 defense. He's a melee monster. Tremmy's basically the exact same, except I did switch back to the Zeta Gundam Saber, and I put the double beam rifle on instead of the Hyakushiki beam rifle. For more firepower, say, because she uses Gatling fire way more than she uses the Lance, and so that's just a better setup in my opinion. Major Resner is now using the Zeta Gundam with the Drill Lance. Outside of that, her stuff is all basically the same. She's got the Zeta booster, she's got HP parts 3 to make the Zeta Gundam last a little longer, although the Zeta Gundam's going to last us for quite a long time. She's just pretty well set up, all things considered. She's a great character. Zeta Gundam's great choice for her, in my opinion. I love it. Li Fong's Arjarja is also lacking a melee weapon, or a ranged weapon. But her setup is basically also the same, except she's got the Drill Claw, which, as you can see from looking at it, is infinitely more powerful than the Enhanced Seagull Claw. The only downside is that, much like the Drill Lance, to regular punch with it, it takes 3 energy. But that doesn't matter because she's almost always using boost attacks now. It looks kind of stupid, but hey, it doesn't matter. She now hits like a truck. Once again. Fritz is the exact same, just wearing a Doggy Shield. And then Lapis is using the Zaku 3. The Zaku 3 is great because it comes with an additional +1 to energy, just built into it. It's not attached to the legs, just built in, which means it starts with 3. I stuck the Cubile arms because they have built-in beam guns. They also add a lot to the ranged stat, and ranged is what matters with Lapis. And she's using the Zaku 3 shield on her right shoulder, and her left shoulder is just the Rick Diaz armor. This will change later, but for right now, that's good enough. As for equipment, she's got a lot, because the Zaku 3 has a huge weapon block. As you can see, she's got the double beam rifle, she's got Shining Vulcans, she's got the Hyper Bazooka 2, which is part of the reason that I bought it. I knew she'd be able to fit it. The Doggy Shield, the Arm Guard, and I stuck the Gundam Saber on her for good measure, because what else am I going to put on her? She can't really fit any of the other melee weapons right now. But her setup is great. She can also use Shoot All, just like Bosley. Fritz is going to use Shot Burst, as you guys can guess. And yeah, everything is looking spiffy. Nothing but upgrades all around. Nothing but upgrades. In case you're wondering, the Dragon Fang also does not work with the Arjarja shoulder armor, which is why that had to change. And that's also part of why I stuck the Shining Gundam armor on Leaf Arms. That, plus it adds 20 to melee per one, so that's just more melee with not nearly as bad of a speed reduction as the Sandrock armor. But yeah, everything's all set, and with that, folks, let's go and talk to the director of the Unicorns, because, well, we will be upgrading mobile suits, like paying to upgrade, because we're nearing the end game, actually. We're not going to be I'm not going to say we're not going to be getting a lot more mobile suits, because that's actually kind of a lie, but the rest of them we have to work a lot harder to get. And so these ones are going to actually be used for a very long time still. Well, maybe not very long time, but for a long time. So we will be paying to upgrade them, just not yet. Hi. This is, yeah, I figured. I heard that Gavinger put his faith in you. Director Shellborn is waiting for you. Please go on in. Okay. And he is on the 3rd floor. In case you're wondering, no, there's nothing on the 2nd floor other than a couple of people to talk to, which I'll talk to everybody later. They don't really have that much interesting to say, in my opinion. It's usually just stuff like that. The director's waiting for you on the 3rd floor, just things like that. Tristan, I presume? Please, do come in. I need your help, sir. Yeah, so I've heard from Olivia. She told me you want us to help you build a spaceship. That's right, the fate of the world depends on it. To be frank, I'm afraid we can't accommodate you. Why not? Creating a spacecraft would place incredible strain on the G-system. Even enough to potentially spark another great fall. You have to forgive me, I'm getting up there in years. But we need a spaceship to defeat the Neo-Zarth. You have used the G-systems to create several mobile suits thus far. This is in violation of our rules. I'm afraid we can't allow any further misuse of the G-systems. Misuse? But, sir, if they hadn't made the mobile suits, the Neo-Zarth would have conquered the world. Our forces were ineffective against both the Dark Alliance and the Neo-Zarth. True, but even so, the G-system shouldn't ever be used for military purposes. Director Shellborn, consider the state of the world. If we hesitate to use the G-system now, countless lives may be lost. Aww. You have to realize this, sir. If we do nothing, Gavinger's sacrifice will have been in vain. Please, sir. Aww. Sir, now is the time for action. The fates of humanity and our planet are more important than following the rules. Very well. I'll take a chance on you. Thank you, sir. However, the construction of a spacecraft is no simple matter. Take this. And with that, we got card key level 4. It's been a while since we got card key level 3. This key will grant you access to the restricted zone in the Lost City. You should be able to find your spacecraft data there, as you already know, technically, because you went there before. What is on his clipboard? That is a drawing of something. What is that? Bring me 99 units of spacecraft data. We'll handle the rest. Alright. We'll go to the Lost City. The restricted zone of the Lost City can't be accessed via the entrance near Diggins Rock. You have to go to the other entrance. You know the one. Yeah, it's easy enough to spot. We know where to go. Don't worry about that. And so, folks, next time, we're actually going to completely disregard that and go and get Fritz a new mobile suit. And so, folks, I'm Gene of RPG, and I'll see you guys then.